φίλε μου, που είσαι.
Jack, make sure you stop the traffic at the bottom coming out of Hankin Street. Down behind me.
Out of Cyprus.
You want those two?
να ρωτήσουμε, να δούμε λαλό, μπορεί να τον λύσω πολύ. Out of
Cyprus! Turkish troops! Turkish settlers! Turkish troops out of Cyprus!
Και μέναν έξω οι Τούρκοι από την Κύπρο και από τις Ζώνιες και από την Αμόχωστο.
Cross, please. You. Into the side, please. Turkish troops! Out of Cyprus! Turkish troops! Out of Cyprus! Turkish troops!
Δεν μπορούμε να με κάνουμε.
What do we want? Freedom! When do we want?
πράσινα τα πάρει στο Square.
Free United. When do we want it?
Now!
Turkish troops.
Out of Cyprus!
Turkish troops.
Out of Cyprus!
Turkish settlers.
Out of Cyprus!
Free United Cyprus.
Free United Cyprus!
Free United Cyprus.
Free United Cyprus!
Free United Cyprus. Turkish invaders! Turkish settlers! What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Turkish troops! Turkish troops! Πάνε να
Παντράξανε τις πύλες και τις ανοίξα στον εχθρό. Δεν ξεχνώ, δεν ξεχνώ, δεν ξεχνώ, δεν ξεχνώ αυτούς που χάθηκαν, δεν ξεχνώ τους σκοτωμένους, δεν ξεχνώ όλο το κλάμα και τον ξερίζο. Δεν ξεχνώ αυτούς που χάθηκαν, δεν ξεχνώ τους σκοτωμένους, δεν ξεχνώ όλο το κλάμα και τον ξεριζωμό. Δεν ξεχνώ, δεν ξεχνώ, δεν ξεχνώ.
Turkish troops! Turkish settlers! What's going on? What do we want it? Turkish troops! Mr. Cameron, can you hear us? Turkish troops! Turkish settlers! Μόρφου, Βαρόση, Καρπάση, Κερίνια, Καραβάς, αυτά είναι δικά μας και όχι της Τουρκιάς. Μόρφου, Βαρόση, Καρπάση, Κερίνια, Καραβάς, αυτά είναι δικά μας και όχι της Τουρκιάς. Για την ελευθερία και την επανένωση της Κύπρου μας. Turkish troops! Turkish settlers! What we got? When do we got it? Turkish troops! Turkish settlers!
The Turkish ambassador to the UK objects to the terms illegal occupation and invasion, which are included in motions supported by our parliamentary friends in the House of Commons. Turkey finds our presence and what we do in support of Cyprus in this country uncomfortable. It wants to silence us, so much so that there have been efforts by various Turkish elements to derail this rally on the ludicrous grounds that it constitutes a hate crime. But let these people hear loud and clear. We shall not be silenced. We shall not be extinguished. Our voices will be heard. For as long as we breathe, for as long as we think, for as long as we speak, we shall stand up for the rights of this proud island and its resilient people. Our dream of a free, united Cyprus lives on. It is not a hate crime to want your country back. It is not a hate crime to want all Cypriots to live together as free people in their own united island. Ours is a political struggle for human rights, freedom, justice and democracy. These are the values we believe in, and these are the values we fight for today and every day. Turkey's arrogance and disregard of its obligations is unfortunately bolstered by the acquiescence or indifference of powers which have a moral as well as a legal duty to act. But indifference to injustice is often as insidious to the injustice itself. The United States of America, as Turkey's most powerful ally, has failed to fulfill its international role in relation to Cyprus. But the United Kingdom, the country of which most of us are citizens, has an even higher duty to act, derived from its historic treaty obligations. And we therefore ask the British Prime Minister once again to make Cyprus a priority of his government, as it deserves to be, and to apply real pressure on Turkey to change its intransigence. This is not a zero-sum game. The benefits of reunification will be many and varied, naturally for the Cypriots themselves, but also for Europe, the United Kingdom, Turkey herself as well, and every other regional power. Everyone will benefit from a reunited Cyprus. To the Turkish Cypriots, we say this: Cyprus belongs to you as much as it belongs to Greek Cypriots and all other Cypriots. But Cyprus does not belong to Turkey. And the Cypriot people will never accept the domination of Cyprus by Turkey. So today we join in spirit the tens of thousands of Turkish Cypriots who have demonstrated repeatedly in occupied Nicosia against Turkey's occupation. And we call out together, in their words, peace, independent, united Cyprus. Cyprus belongs to the Cypriots. Today, we rally for a free Cyprus, but we also celebrate the assumption by the Republic of Cyprus of the presidency of the European Union. It is a moment of immense pride for all of us that our country of origin has assumed this vitally important institutional role within the large family of European nations. Arrogantly and insultingly for the EU, Turkey, an EU applicant country, refuses to acknowledge Cyprus's vital institutional role. But we have no doubt that the Republic will carry out its role successfully and effectively. Today, the Cypriot community of the United Kingdom stands united, proudly, by the side of the President, of the government, and of the people of the Republic of Cyprus as the island fulfills its important responsibilities as President of the European Union. A President of Europe still fighting for justice. Ζήτω η Κύπρος! Ζήτω μια επανενωμένη, ανεξάρτητη και ελεύθερη Κύπρος! We have a number of parliamentary friends of ours, members of the House of Commons who are here, who have turned out to show their solidarity with our cause. Some familiar faces, some newer faces as well. I'm delighted they're all here. And I'd like to invite all of them to say a few words. I'd like to invite our very good friend, Charles Tannock, member of the European Parliament for London. Charles has been with us for many years, and I know he has been here on our side. I know I've been presiding over these proceedings now for 6 years, and he's been here every year that I've had the privilege to do this. And I know he had been here before that as well. And I'm sure he will tell you how many years he has been doing this. And I'm delighted that he's here. He's a consistent, principled friend of the island. Thank you, Charles. The podium is yours.
Friends from the London and UK Cypriot community, Peter, thank you for those very warm, welcoming words. Your Excellency, the High Commissioner, parliamentary colleagues, councillors, assemblymen, and all those who share my solidarity and friendship with the Cypriot people. In fact, Peter, it's been my 13th year now attending the annual rally as a London MEP. In fact, I started off this in '99 alongside Theresa Villiers, who I know can't speak, but we all know exactly what Theresa would like to say, were she not a Minister of the Crown, in sharing exactly the same sentiments as I'm about to demonstrate, that 38 long years of an injustice still prevail in Europe. It's absolutely unacceptable. The only good thing I can report this year, and I have to say the rain has just started, so maybe that's a bit of good luck to us all, is that 2012 is a special year. Peter's already mentioned the Cypriot European Union presidency in office, and I'll come to that in a second. It's also, of course, 60 years of Her Majesty reigning over in this country as head of state, but also as head of the Commonwealth. I think we can be proud of the Queen and the Commonwealth and Cyprus, United Kingdom, which links us all in a big, happy family. And I think that's a great year to remember. We'll always remember that. And just on the issue of the EU presidency, last week in Strasbourg, I had the honour of meeting President Christofias, who gave a magnificent speech, even tinged with a bit of a sense of humour by saying, I may be a card-carrying member of the Communist Party, but I'm not planning a communist revolution in the bowels of the European Union just yet, as I actually have to save the banking system and think about a banking union for the Eurozone. So that got the House actually warmed up to his speech. It was a great speech. And I also had a chance to talk to Mavroyiannis, the Europe Minister, to see what the priorities would be for Cyprus in the 6-month presidency. One of the issues is climate change. Well, I haven't noticed that today in London, I have to say, the Doha conference. The issue of water conservation, which will be very, very important given the problems that Cyprus has faced in terms of water shortages, the expertise that have been acquired in Cyprus in desalination. That will be a very useful thing for the rest of Europe, and that will be transmitted by the Environment Minister. The issue, I'm afraid, where the Conservatives slightly part company on the EU budget, the multi-annual financial framework for 2014-2020, that will be in the hands of the Cypriot presidency, one where there may be slight problems with the Conservatives. But all in all, it will be a very testing time for Cyprus. Cyprus is going through an economic crisis, a banking bailout itself. It will actually, of course, have the issue as well of getting money from Russia, what that means for foreign policy. But next week in Brussels, I'm actually meeting the Cypriot foreign minister to talk about Cypriot and EU foreign policy. And one of the things that does give me slight hope, of course, is the realignment of foreign policy in the Eastern Mediterranean. Now, with Cyprus having a newfound friendship with the State of Israel, which traditionally it wasn't too close to, that, of course, will enable it to use Israel as a friend and leverage that internationally to put more pressure on Turkey in terms of coming to some meaningful conclusions to the reunification talks between President Christofias and Mr. Eroglu from the Turkish community of the north. So there is some interesting things going on in terms of foreign policy, but at the moment, of course, we just don't know where it will all end. But it has been 38 long years of total injustice. I have remained a solid friend of Cyprus throughout. Rest assured, as I said to Mr. Mavroyiannis, the MEPs from London and many others in the European Parliament will do their best to support the EU 6-month presidency for Cyprus. It's a small country, but I have huge confidence in the hard work and enterprising spirit of the Cypriots to get through this 6 months, in spite of the fact that outrageously Turkey has had a ban on any cooperation with the Council of Ministers throughout these 6 months on the basis it doesn't recognise the Republic of Cyprus. That in itself is an outrage, and of course you might ask, how can you be a candidate country for EU membership when you don't recognise one of its key member states and the one that is the president in office for the next 6 months? Absolutely absurd. So all I can say is thank you for all your support as a community you've given me, as your MEP for London for so many years. Oh, the sun's coming out. That has to be a good omen. Rest assured, I will be here every year for as long as I serve as a London MEP, showing solidarity with the Cypriot people and showing my complete rejection of the Turkish occupation of northern Cyprus. So yes, Turkish troops out of Cyprus. Long live Cyprus. Eleftheria στην Κύπρο. Ευχαριστώ.
So much, Charles, for those unequivocal words of support. It is raining, but we never give up. You know, the sun shines out as well at the same time. I would like to invite another great friend of Cyprus, somebody who has always been on our side, and that is Andy Love, Member of Parliament for Edmonton. Andy represents a constituency with quite a few Cypriots within it, and he's here with us to show his support. Andy Love.
Now I know how Gene Kelly felt when he was singing in the rain. Let me start by congratulating Cyprus on its accession to the 6-month presidency of the European Union. This is an awesome responsibility that places Cyprus right at the heart of Europe, which is exactly where it needs to be at this time, and we hope positive things will emanate from that presidency. But of course it isn't just Europe that needs to be engaged with Cyprus. Britain itself has a very unique role to play. For first of all, it's a guarantor power of the independence and territorial integrity of Cyprus. Secondly, it's a member of the European Union, a very prominent one. Thirdly, it's on the Security Council of United Nations, which has been holding the talks. We need as a country to put more pressure on the UN to get these talks moving in a positive direction. And of course, we're both members of the Commonwealth, which is critical in improving goodwill across the nations of this world. But of course, we also need to do more at a European Union level. I believe in the future the European Union will have an absolutely central role to play. Not just because Cyprus is the president for this 6-month period, but because the European Union is a guarantor of human rights for its members. The fundamental freedoms that all of the members of the European Union, other than Cyprus, can guarantee must be held to account on the island. You must be able to move freely. You must be able to settle. Property should be respected. All of those things can be guaranteed by the European Union, and we need to set about ensuring that they play their part in finding a resolution for Cyprus. Let me, while the rain pours down on you all, pay tribute to the diaspora. You are living proof that the diaspora cares about what happens to Cyprus, and I salute you for that. I can see, as I look around, many constituents of mine here in the audience, and I salute you. And I particularly salute the relatives of the missing people. An outrage perpetrated 30 years ago, and people still don't know what happened to their sons, their children, their father, their uncles. It's an absolute disgrace. And I have to say to you, the missing people will be coming to Parliament next week. We will greet them as we do every year. But I think we have better news this year than before, because we're about to set up a parliamentary inquiry into the missing people, and we hope the publicity will lead to greater movement and greater acknowledgement of the crimes that were committed in 1974. So I look forward to that. Let me say one thing finally to all of you. We need to redouble our efforts, and as a parliamentary friend of Cyprus, I'm here to do just that. We need to redouble our efforts to end the division of the island, to create a free, united and independent Cyprus. That's the goal, and I want to work with all of you to achieve it in the future.
I would now like to invite a friend of our island, a friend of mine, who has been a Minister for Europe, who knows the problem of Cyprus, Chris Bryant, Member of Parliament for Rhondda Valley in Wales, who has made a special effort to be here with us today. Chris, I'm delighted that you're here. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. I can see another cloud over there, so I think I will be as brief as I possibly can. I didn't bring the weather here myself, but I think from Wales, that is. But it would be nice if all the Cypriots who live in this country had brought the weather from Cyprus to the United Kingdom. It might even help Andy Murray, so I congratulate you on being here rather than watching Andy Murray at home. Look, I have no Cypriot community in my own constituency. I'm here because when I was Minister for Europe for about 5 minutes, I went to Cyprus and I saw something which most British people don't even know about, which is why events like today are so important, which is it is an absolute disgrace for every politician in Europe that we have a capital city in Europe that is divided. That is a disgrace to all of us. It's a disgrace that we... It's a disgrace that we have a divided island, but it's also a disgrace that after so many years, so few people who lost loved ones in those tragic weeks and months, so few of them have actually been able to track down exactly what happened. The most important thing is that we make sure that the younger generation know what happened in Cyprus and know what's happening in Cyprus today. The Turkish government swore blind to the European Union that they would open up the ports. They swore blind that they would make sure that everybody who had lost land would be compensated or have their land back, and that every single person who had lost a loved one would know what had happened. None of those promises has yet been kept. So we need to make sure that the British government today does everything in its power to push Turkey to honour its promises, so that we, in a year's time, in 2 years' time, will not still be coming back here to complain about a divided island, but to rejoice about a united island.
I really appreciate those words, especially from somebody who has served as a Minister for Europe and who understands the issue of Cyprus so well. Thank you so much, Chris Bryant. We do have another Member of Parliament, a Labour Member of Parliament, who I know has been a great friend of Cyprus for many years as well. He has been a senior member of successive Labour governments. His name is Frank Dobson, and I'm delighted that he's here with us today. Frank Dobson, Member of Parliament.
Friends, at least I assume everybody here is a friend, and a friend of a united and independent Cyprus. And I can remember campaigning largely at the instigation of my very distinguished predecessor as MP for Holborn and St Pancras, Lena Jaeger MP, who was probably the greatest British friend Cyprus has ever had. And I can remember campaigning then, and we campaigned for Cyprus to become independent of Britain. I never thought that 40 odd years later we'd be still campaigning for Cyprus independence, but in this case independence from Turkey. But I do think we do have something to celebrate. If you look back all those years ago when we were campaigning for Cyprus independence, the European Union consisted of 6 states. It now consists of 20 more states, and Cyprus has the presidency. And I think that that is a wonderful thing for Cyprus, and we should all celebrate it. But all the rest of the European Union should be ashamed. Every single government should be ashamed that they haven't worked hard enough to get a united Cyprus, and haven't made clear to Turkey that if Turkey wants to join the European Union, it's got to stick by the rules, and it's got to stick by the rules from the start. It can't pick and choose. Britain can't pick and choose who gets the presidency of the European Union, and Turkey as an outsider certainly shouldn't be allowed to try to pick and choose who will have the presidency. So I hope that this 6 months of the Cyprus presidency, combined with a bigger effort by the British government and the government of the United States, will bring pressure to bear on Turkey to agree to what would be a lasting settlement. And it wouldn't just be for the benefit of Greek Cypriots, that would be immensely to the benefit of all Cypriots, including the Turkish Cypriots, because I'm convinced most Turkish Cypriots would like to see the back of the Turkish army and the Turkish government all turfed out of Cyprus. So I wish you well in the campaign. I promise to continue to join with you in this campaign. We can't have a situation where the presidency country of the European Union is occupied by an alien force. That ought to be unacceptable to everybody in Europe, just as it's unacceptable to you. And that's what we've got to campaign for. Thank you very much.
Now, we have another politician who has been an outspoken, passionate supporter of our cause. Somebody I've worked with very closely in the last 6 years, nearly 6 years, as President of the Federation, who has been extremely helpful to the Federation, to our community within the House of Commons. And he has been here for many, many years, year after year, present to support what we do. His name is Alan Meal. He needs no introduction from me. I'm delighted he's here once again.
Mr. President, High Commissioner, Ministers, that's both of them, the British and the Cypriot one, ladies and gentlemen, can I first of all bring you fraternal greetings from the Midlands, East and West, from Birmingham, from Derby, from Sheffield, from Chesterfield, from Doncaster, from Lincoln, from Nottingham, Peterborough, and of course Mansfield, my own constituency. All of those people stand four square with all of you to campaign for justice until we will win. And let me say, I repeat that particular objective every year when I come here, when I say we can win this. It is not a defeat. It is a shame, as Frank Dobson has just recently quoted on this platform, that we haven't had more force out of all the governments of Europe to try and get restitution on this matter. But I have to say, it's a shame not only for Conservative and the present Conservative government. It's also a shame of previous Labour government, of which I served in myself. Yes, Labour did bring and was responsible above every other state in Europe, did bring Cyprus into the European Union. But that on its own is not enough. What we have to do is campaign for reunification of the island and spare no sweat at all until we achieve those objectives. We have to ensure that we get justice for those people who remain missing and their families stand idly by waiting for a message or a solution. We have to find a solution to all those people who've lost their homes and properties, and now their land and properties have been sold willy-nilly to Europeans across the length and breadth of Europe, including British people, which is a shame on Britain. What we have to do is take to Turkey. It's time for you to stop interfering in a free sovereign country of Europe and an ally of the United Kingdom, and we want you to do that straight away. And let me give Turkey one final message. One final message. All of your philandering around Europe at the present time, trying to claim some kind of claim under the oil and gas into the oil wells of the Mediterranean southern area, including Well 4, Area 4, which contains the biggest find of natural oil and gas ever found in the Middle East. You have no claim. It is Cyprus's oil and gas, not yours. So I said at the beginning of the address, the repeated message, that we can win this. We can get the land back. We can find what happened to the missing. We can bring justice and reunification to Cyprus. Comrades, we can and we will. Ευχαριστώ πολύ, να είστε καλά, θα νικήσουμε.
Thank you, Alan. Your words are always passionate and inspiring. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I would now like to invite a Cypriot who has been a regular speaker at our events for many years as well. And he's the mayor of the occupied town of Morphu, our great friend Haralambos Peters, who has made an effort to be here with us once again to show his solidarity with our struggle in this country. I know that Haralambos will speak for all of the occupied towns and municipalities of Cyprus today. I'm delighted he's here with us. Haralambos.
Αδέλφια, με ιδιαίτερη χαρά και βαθιά συγκίνηση, για μια ακόμη φορά βρίσκομαι εδώ εκ μέρους των 9 κατεχομένων δήμων της Κύπρου για να σας μεταφέρουμε το μήνυμα της απόφασής μας να αγωνιστούμε και να διεκδικήσουμε τα αναφέρετα δικαιώματα του λαού μας. Σας μεταφέρομαι αγωνιστικό χαιρετισμό, μήνυμα πίστης, αποφασιστικότητας και ελπίδας από μέρους των 9 κατεχομένων δήμων μας. Αδέλφια, 38 χρόνια από την αποφράτα εκείνη μέρα, τον αιματοβαμμένο Ιούλη και Αύγουστο, το πικρό καλοκαίρι της συμφοράς και του θανάτου, η μνήμη είναι ζώσα, η πληγή αιμορραγούσα και ο πόθος της επιστροφής αναλύωτος. Βρισκόμαστε σήμερα εδώ για να ενώσουμε τη φωνή μας με τη δική σας φωνή, ενάντια στην κατοχή, ενάντια στη βάρβαρη τουρκική εισβολή και ημικατοχή της πατρίδας μας. Το βαρύ και ασήκωτο χρέος προς την κατεχόμενη γη μας, το βαρύ και ασήκωτο χρέος προς τους αθάνατους ήρωές μας, αυτούς που πότισαν τη γη μας με το αίμα τους, αυτούς που χάθηκαν στη λέλαπα του πολέμου, υπερασπιζόμενοι την τιμή και την αξιοπρέπεια μιας προδομένης πατρίδας, κάθε χρόνο οδηγεί τα βήματά μας. Εδώ, στο σημαντικότερο κέντρο λήψης αποφάσεων για το εθνικό μας θέμα, για να σας μεταφέρουμε το μήνυμα της διεκδίκησης, των αναφέρετων δικαίων και δικαιωμάτων ολόκληρου του κυπριακού λαού. Βρισκόμαστε εδώ για να σας μεταφέρουμε χαιρετισμό αγάπης, τιμής και ευγνωμοσύνης από όλους τους πρόσφυγες, για τη συμπαράστασή σας, το έργο και την προσφορά σας στους αγώνες του λαού μας. Θέλουμε να σας ευχαριστήσουμε και να σας συγχαρούμε για τα τόσα πολλά που έχετε κάνει, κυρίως στον τομέα της διαφώτισης, για την προώθηση μιας δίκαιης, βιώσιμης και λειτουργικής λύσης του εθνικού μας προβλήματος. Θέλω να σας διαβεβαιώσω πως δεν σας ξεχνούμε και ας βρισκόμαστε χιλιάδες μίλια μακριά σας. Κάθε μέρα και περισσότερο αναγνωρίζουμε τη σημαντική βοήθεια και προσφορά σας και δίκαια έχετε κερδίσει την ευγνωμοσύνη όλων μας. Είστε για μας και θα παραμείνετε ένα αναπόσπαστο κομμάτι του λαού μας. Αδέρφια, θέλω να σας διαβεβαιώσω ότι παρά τις πολλές δυσκολίες και αντιξιότητες και παγίδες, εμείς οι πρόσφυγες, αλλά και ολόκληρος ο κυπριακός ελληνισμός, θα συνεχίσουμε τον αγώνα της διεκδίκησης μιας δίκαιης και βιώσιμης λύσης με αμετάθετο στόχο την επιστροφή στην κάθε γωνιά της κατεχόμενης γης μας. Την επιστροφή στην Αμόχωστο, στη Μόρφου, στην Κερίνια, στη Λάπιθο τον Καραβά, την Κιθρέα, το Λευκόνικο, τη Λύση και την Αγαθού. Με ανοιχτές ακόμα τις πληγές και μοραγούσες, μετράμε ήδη 38 χρόνια μακριά από την πατρόα γη. 38 χρόνια από το μικρό καλοκαίρι του 1974 είναι πολλά, είναι πάρα πολλά. Ο χρόνος θύρει και καθυλώνει τις μνήμες, ξεθοριάζει τις θύμησες, κουράζει και αποπροσανατολίζει το στόχο και τον αγώνα μας. Εμείς όμως για 38 χρόνια αντιπαλεύουμε τον χρόνο και λέμε όχι στα τετελεσμένα της βάρβαρης τουρκικής εισβολής και ημικατοχής της πατρίδας μας. Για τους μεγάλους του πλανήτη μας η Τουρκία είναι μια μεγάλη αγορά και η χώρα με τη γεωστρατηγική θέση, κλειδί στο σταυροδρόμι νομίμων και ανώμων συμφερόντων. Η διεθνής κοινότητα συχνά υποκύπτει μπροστά στη γεωπολιτική θέση της Τουρκίας, ανεχόμενη τις εγκληματικές ενέργειές της και την αδιαλαξία της στο Κυπριακό. Σήμερα καλούμε τον διεθνή παράγοντα να ασκήσει τις απαιτούμενες πιέσεις στην τουρκική πλευρά, η οποία κρατά το κλειδί της λύσης του κυπριακού προβλήματος. Πρόβλημα και εμπόδιο στη λύση του εθνικού μας προβλήματος, και αυτό οφείλουμε όλοι να το συνειδητοποιήσουμε, ήταν αλλά και παραμένει η αδιαλαξία και ο επεκτατισμός της Τουρκίας. Είναι λάθος να αναπτύσσουμε αναμεταξύ μας ευθύνες και χρέη ευθυνών για τη μη λύση. Είναι λάθος οι όποιοι μεγάλοι εμπλεκόμενοι διαμεσολαβητές να μας θέτουν ασφικτικούς όρους και χρονοδιαγράμματα και να εξισώνουν το θύμα με το θήτη. Αδέρφια, ο τόπος μας, η μικρή μας πατρίδα έχει παρελθόν, έχει παρόν και σίγουρα πρέπει να έχει και μέλλον. Ένα μέλλον πολύ διαφορετικό από το τραυματικό της παρελθόν. Για τούτο πρέπει και επιβάλλεται με σύνεση, χωρίς ηττοπάθειες, να επικεντρωθούμε στο στόχο της απελευθέρωσης, της επανένωσης της πατρίδας και της επιστροφής στην κατεχόμενη μας. Ίσως να είναι ο τυνηρός ο συμβιβασμός, αλλά θα πρέπει να το δούμε κατάματα, χωρίς αυτό να σημαίνει ότι μας υπαγορεύει την αποδοχή μιας οποιασδήποτε λύσης του εθνικού μας προβλήματος, χωρίς αυτό να σημαίνει ότι αποδεχόμαστε την υποδούλωση και τον εξευτελισμό. Στην Κύπρο σήμερα περιφρονούνται και καταπατούνται βάναυστα τα ανθρώπινα δικαιώματα του λαού μας από την Τουρκία. Γι' αυτό και επιβάλλεται να καθίσει η Τουρκία στο εδώριο του κατηγορουμένου στο Διεθνές Δικαστήριο. Αυτό έχει αποδειχτεί μέσα από τις ταυτοποιήσεις διψάνων των αγνοωμένων μας. Επίσης, στο δίκαιο και στο μέλλον του τόπου και του λαού μας θα γκρεμίσουμε το τείχος και τα οδοφράγματα της ντροπής και του έσχους. Θα ξαναμυριστούμε την άνοιξη του θανατούς, της λεμονιάς και της πορτοκαλιάς που για χρόνια πότισαν με τον τίμιο υδρότα του προσώπου τους γονείς και παππούδες μας. Αδέλφια, σας ευχαριστούμε και σας ευγνωμονούμε για όλα, για όσα έχετε κάνει και συνεχίζετε να πράττετε για τη μικρή μας πατρίδα. Να είστε καλά.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ τον Δήμαρχο της κατοχμένου Μόρφου, τον Άλαν Μπιτ. I would now like to invite our main speaker for the event, the Cypriot Minister of the Interior, or I should say the Minister of Home Affairs of Cyprus, Ελένη Μαύρου.
Συμπατριώτες, συμπατριώτισσες, για μια ακόμη χρονιά η Κυπριακή Παροικία στη Μεγάλη Βρετανία διοργανώνει εκδηλώσεις για τις μαύρες επετείους του 1974. Έχουν περάσει κιόλας 38 χρόνια από τότε που η πατρίδα μας ζούσε ένα πραγματικό εφιάλτη που ποτέ πριν στην ιστορία της δεν είχε γνωρίσει. Έναν εφιάλτη που μας βασανίζει μέχρι και σήμερα. Οι μνήμες κουβαλούν την οργή και την αγανάκτηση μαζί με τον πόθο και την ελπίδα. Οργή για εκείνους που βύθισαν τον τόπο στον όλεθρο και την καταστροφή, που γέμισαν την πατρίδα μας με μαυροφορεμένες μάνες, πρόσφυγες αγνοούμενους, εγκλωβισμένες, πεσόντες. Ελπίδα για την επανένωση του τόπου και του λαού μας, για ένα μέλλον ειρηνικό. Αγαπητοί συμπατριώτες και συμπατριώτισσες, δεν ξεχνούμε ότι η τραγωδία του 1974 δεν προέκυψε από το πουθενά και ξαφνικά. Το δίδυμο έγκλημα του πραξικοπήματος και της εισβολής ήταν αποτέλεσμα σχεδιασμών που εκπονήθηκαν σε ξένα αντικυπριακά κέντρα. Η τραγωδία του 1974 ήταν αποτέλεσμα της επεκτατικής πολιτικής της Τουρκίας και της δράσης της Χούντας των Αθηνών σε βάρος της νόμιμης κυβέρνησης του Προέδρου Μακαρίου. Και δεν μπορούμε να ξεχάσουμε πως ήταν αποτέλεσμα και της δράσης συμπατριωτών μας, ακροδεξιών εθνικιστικών στοιχείων και ομάδων και στις δύο κυπριακές κοινότητες, που ακούσια ή εκούσια προετοίμασαν την καταστροφή. Για 38 τώρα χρόνια η Κύπρος ζει με ανοιχτές τις πληγές τις οποίες προκάλεσε η τουρκική εισβολή και συντηρεί η κατοχή. Οι πρόσφυγες περιμένουν ακόμη να επιστρέψουν στα σπίτια και τις περιουσίες τους. Οι εγκλωβισμένοι περιμένουν πότε θα αναπνεύσουν αέρα ελευθερίας. Οι συγγενείς των αγνοωμένων περιμένουν πότε θα μάθουν για την τύχη των αγαπημένων τους προσώπων. Δυστυχώς, όσες προσπάθειες και πρωτοβουλίες και αν έχουν αναλυφθεί για την επίλυση του Κυπριακού, αυτές δεν οδήγησαν ακόμα στην επίτευξη μιας δίκαιης, μιας βιώσιμης, μιας λειτουργικής λύσης του Κυπριακού, γιατί προσέκρουαν πάντα στην αδιαλλαξία της Τουρκίας. Πριν από 4 περίπου χρόνια, με πρωτοβουλία του Προέδρου της Δημοκρατίας Δημήτρη Χριστόφια, ξεκίνησε μια εντατική προσπάθεια επίλυσης του Κυπριακού. Και αυτή προσέκρουσε στην αδιαλλαξία της Τουρκίας. Στις διαπραγματεύσεις αυτές, δυστυχώς, η πρόοδος έχει περιοριστεί σε μερικά μόνο από τα βασικά κεφάλαια του Κυπριακού. Είναι φανερό ότι η Τουρκία επιδιώκει λύση δύο κρατών, λύση διχοτόμησης. Η κατοχική δύναμη επενδύει στο πέρασμα του χρόνου για να παγιώνει τα τετελεσμένα. Αλλάζει το δημογραφικό χαρακτήρα της Κύπρου μεταφέροντας χιλιάδες επίκους. Καταστρέφει την πολιτιστική κληρονομιά των κατεχομένων ώστε να αλλοιώσει την ιστορία του τόπου μας. Χτίζει μαζικά σε ελληνοκυπριακές περιουσίες δημιουργώντας τετελεσμένα επί του εδάφους. Η προσπάθεια μας πρέπει να είναι και είναι να πετύχουμε λύση το συντομότερο. Η πολιτική της Τουρκίας αντιμετωπίζεται αποτελεσματικά με τη δική μας συνέπεια στη λύση της Ζωνικής Δικοινοτικής Ομοσπονδίας, στα ψηφίσματα του ΟΗΕ, σε μια λύση για ένα κράτος με μια και μόνη κυριαρχία μια ηθαγένεια, μια διεθνή προσωπικότητα. Μπροστά στα διέξοδα, τα Ηνωμένα Έθνη, η Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση, γενικά η διεθνής κοινότητα, πρέπει να στραφούν με επιμονή και αποφασιστικότητα προς την Τουρκία και να απαιτήσουν από αυτήν να συνεργαστεί για επίτευξη λύσης στη βάση των ψηφισμάτων του ΟΗΕ. Με αυτή την ευκαιρία θα ήθελα να υπογραμμίσω ότι οι πρόσφατες απειλές της Τουρκίας με την ευκαιρία της ανάληψης της Προεδρίας της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης από την Κύπρο, το μόνο που καταφέρνουν είναι να φέρουν την κατοχική δύναμη σε αντιπαράθεση με τα θεσμικά όργανα και όλα τα κράτη-μέλη της Ένωσης και όχι μόνο την Κύπρο. Η Κυπριακή Δημοκρατία θα ασκήσει την Προεδρία της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης με αντικειμενικότητα. Θα λειτουργήσει ως έντιμος μεσολαβητής για την προώθηση σημαντικών θεμάτων που αφορούν το παρόν και το μέλλον της Ευρώπης. Είμαστε πεπισμένοι ότι η Κυπριακή Προεδρία θα είναι πετυχημένη και αυτό το γεγονός θα ενισχύσει την οντότητα και το κύρος της Κυπριακής Δημοκρατίας διεθνώς. Θέλω να επαναβεβαιώσω τη βούληση μας να αγωνιστούμε για μια πραγματικά ελεύθερη πατρίδα, χωρίς ξένα στρατεύματα, χωρίς σειρματοπλέγματα μίσους και διαχωρισμού, για μια επανενωμένη Κύπρο, κοινή και ευτυχισμένη πατρίδα για όλους τους κατοίκους της. Στον αγώνα αυτό κανένας δεν περισσεύει. Συμπατριώτες, συμπατριώτισσες, για μας κάθε επέτειος είναι ευκαιρία για προβληματισμό και συστράτευση. Να μην ξεχάσουμε λοιπόν, να μην παρασυρθούμε από μηχανισμούς επετειοποίησης. Οι μνήμες από την τραγωδία παραμένουν ζωντανές και έτσι πρέπει να παραμείνουν για να αγωνίζουν την αντικειμενική και ορθή κρίση. Γιατί λαός χωρίς μνήμη βαδίζει χωρίς προσανατολισμό, χωρίς στόχους και δεν μπορεί να ελπίζει σε τίποτα. Η σύγχρονη ιστορία μας διδάσκει ότι τα μεγάλα λόγια, οι ανεδαφικές διακηρύξεις στοίχησαν ακριβά στον λαό μας. Την πολυτάραχη πορεία της Κύπρου προς την ελευθερία την πληρώσαμε με πολύ δάκρυ και πολύ αίμα. Η σημερινή εκδήλωση είναι ταυτόχρονα μια ελάχιστη ένδειξη τιμής στους σκληρούς αγώνες και θυσίες του λαού μας, στις εκατοντάδες των συμπατριωτών μας που έδωσαν τη ζωή τους υπερασπιζόμενοι τη δημοκρατία, την ανεξαρτησία και την εδαφική ακεραιότητα της Κύπρου. Συμπατριώτες, συμπατριώτισσες, ο αγώνας και οι κινητοποιήσεις σας εδώ στη Μεγάλη Βρετανία αποτελούν αναπόσπαστο κομμάτι του αγώνα του λαού μας για δικαίωση. Συμβάλλουν στην ανάδειξη της παράνομης τουρκικής εισβολής και κατοχής της Κύπρου. Συμβάλλουν στην ανάγκη όπως η Τουρκία σεβαστεί επιτέλους το διεθνές δίκαιο. Συμβάλλουν στην ανάδειξη της ανάγκης όπως η διεθνής κοινότητα απαιτήσει από την Τουρκία να εφαρμόσει το διεθνές δίκαιο. Από τα βάθη της καρδιάς μας σας ευχαριστούμε για τους αγώνες σας. Τους αναγνωρίζουμε, τους εκτιμούμε. Ενωμένοι και στην Κύπρο και στο εξωτερικό θα συνεχίσουμε μαζί να αναδεικνύουμε το Κυπριακό στις προτεραιότητες της διεθνούς κοινότητας. Μαζί θα συνεχίσουμε να αποκαλύπτουμε τις παρανομίες της Τουρκίας στην Κύπρο. Μαζί θα συνεχίσουμε να προβάλλουμε τη θέλησή μας για επίτευξη λύσης στο Κυπριακό. 38 χρόνια είναι πάρα πολλά. Θέλουμε να ειρηνεύσει ο τόπος μας, για να πάμε πίσω στα κατεχόμενα μέρη μας, για να επανενωθεί ο τόπος και ο λαός μας. Ζήτω η Κύπρος μας!
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ την Ελένη Μαύρου, Υπουργό Εσωτερικών της Κυπριακής Δημοκρατίας. I thank the Minister of the Interior of the Republic of Cyprus, Elένη Μαύρου, for being here with us and for that message of solidarity. I thank all of you for being here, and I want to thank all of you for being here year after year. I know how hard it is, and that is, as I said in my introductory speech, Turkey's policy. It is to make us forget about the tragedy, about the crimes that it has committed. But I see that year after year we have been here in Trafalgar Square to demonstrate our opposition to the injustice that remains on the island. Finally, I want to pay tribute to my colleagues once again this year, because we have a federation of all the organizations of our community, and it is through that unity of purpose, the united front, that we have been able to demonstrate in this country that we have been able to perform such an effective role in the United Kingdom. And I have no doubt that had we not been here, the attitude, perhaps the policy of the British government would not have been as amenable. I know it's not as good as it should be, but nevertheless, I think that without our presence here, they wouldn't have been as aware of the issues as they are today. And I want to invite our friends, our parliamentary friends, and I want to invite the vice presidents and the rest of the executive of the federation, my good friends Andreas Papavridis, to come forward, please. Christodoulos Stylianou, Michalis Elinas, Michael Kashis, Pampos Karalambous. I want you to come forward in a display of unity before our community and Cyprus, because Cyprus needs to be united as well if we are to win this battle against a much bigger power than we are. And I'd like to invite our younger generation as well. Christos Karaolis, Peter Haralambous, if Peter is up here, to join us as well. And Susie Konstantinidis, where is Susie, to come and stand next to me, because she has been, come here Susie, come here, you have been the chair of the organizing committee, and she has done great work in the face of considerable adversity in the last few months to organize all of this. Have I missed anybody? Andreas Karaolis, of course, is the executive secretary of the federation. But I also want a minister from Cyprus to come forward, and I would like the minister from the British government to come forward as well, because I think it's important, and all the members of parliament come forward, the former members of parliament, to sing the national anthem with us, to demonstrate the solidarity that exists for our cause in this country. Where is Frank Dobson? Frank Dobson should be here as well. Frank Dobson should be here. And the Cyprus High Commissioner is behind us. We will now sing the national anthem.
Σε γνωρίζα από την κόψη του σπαθιού την τρομερή, σε γνωρίζα από την όψη που με βιά μετράει τη γη, απ' τα κόκαλα βγαλμένη των Ελλήνων τα ιερά, και σαν πρώτα ανδριωμένη χέρο χέρ ελευθεριά, και σαν πρώτα ανδριωμένη χέρο χέρ ελευθεριά, και σαν πρώτα ανδριωμένη χέρο χέρ ελευθεριά.